All right. We are back with the show that absolutely nobody asked for. We are not giving you content that you want, but content you need.
Sure.
Perhaps. Threw that in there. At the end, we'll give a quick rundown of Harlow, because I know a handful of people.
That's all anyone cares about.
Probably true.
Nobody cares about us anymore.
So if that's the reason, that's why we'll throw it at the end. That way, maybe keep them around.
Fast forward.
Let's just give people an unsolicited recap of my work lately.
Okay.
More so my failings lately.
They're not failings. They're experiences.
Experiences that resulted in zero money.
That's fine.
Who
needs money?
Sure. So lately, the last audition I did last week was for 911 Lone Star. Mm-hmm. Rob Lowe show. Mm-hmm. Fox. The self-tape you helped me with.
Okay.
You don't remember that one?
I don't remember anything.
It was the one where there's a drone involved. I get blown up.
Oh, this is the one we did when Harlow was sleeping.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. So we were like short on time. We were trying to do it quickly. Long story short, I thought it went really well. My manager loved it. Mm-hmm. He literally said, this is next level work. Not that that matters at all, because maybe it was next level work, but I didn't get booked.
But he's also not the type of guy, I think, that would say that to you just to blow smoke. No, he wouldn't
want anything to do with me unless he didn't think that we had potential together.
But that just goes to show, even when you have a great audition,
I know,
you're not always going to book it.
That's what sucks, because I thought it went so good. And I felt great with the character, and it would have been fun. And I was one of those projects where I was super excited about, but got passed up on it. It also might not help that I was supposed to be 18.
Yeah. You used to be able to pull that off. I think you're starting to push it.
It's a stretch now. So yeah, that one didn't work out. Before that, I auditioned for this show, Creep Show, which many people probably haven't heard of, but it's based off of a Stephen King film, maybe in the 80s. They did a series. Got passed up on that one. That would have also been a big, fun, scary type of show, which would have been unique. That would have shot in Georgia, but got passed up on that one.
It's all right.
The other failure, that big one that I talked about a few weeks ago that I didn't tell anybody about because it was under wraps. Well, it still is, but it was a Tyler Perry project. Mm-hmm. That was another one where my manager was like, yep, we're good to go.
That was the one that you put in work for.
I put in work. I put in literal sweat and about an hour or two of work and didn't pan out. That would have been a career changer, but all good.
It's all right.
The one that keeps, it pains me because every time we see it on TV, I'm like, oh, that would have been nice. So
the commercial world is where you can make a buck.
Yes.
So anytime you get passed up on a commercial like this, you're like dying inside.
Yes, just because, you can make a buck. And then when you are able to book something like that, you can kind of just like coast through other projects because you just know you have this residual money coming in.
Sure.
And a lot of people, you get exposure from it and it pays well. But yeah, the Jake from State Farm, you've probably have seen that guy on every football game, every new commercial with Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes.
Which would have been awesome if you would have met Aaron Rodgers.
I know you would have been elated.
Go, Pat, go.
Yeah, I auditioned for that at the end of 2019. I think I did it right before Christmas break last year, about a year ago.
Okay.
And we went in for it. And I don't know how many people in town read for it. Maybe a lot. Maybe it was a select few. Probably a lot. But the board had like super specific details of how this character was going to be. And they didn't even tell you the scale rate. They didn't tell you it was scale. They said basically it was going to be negotiable. And so I assumed it was going to be some big buyout where if you're the Jake from State Farm, you're not allowed to work on any other commercials, any other advertising, but
like Flow.
Yes. Exactly. But we're going to pay for you to not do that because you're going to be a huge representation of our brand. So I auditioned for it and I gave my take on the character. And I was kind of quirky in the read and he liked it. And he told me the casting session director that day was like, yeah, do that again and amp it up even a bit more. So I was even more dorky, I think.
Yeah.
And he seemed to like it, and I thought it went well, but got passed up on that.
It's not what they were looking for.
And so now you see Kevin, I think his name is Kevin Miles, who he's with the same agency that I used to be with commercially.
Okay.
And I used to see him at auditions all the time. Obviously talented, great looking guy, deserves the spot, but it just pains me to see him every single time when I knew that technically could have been me. I don't know how far off I was from getting it, but...
Yeah, so that's interesting because you do, I don't think you specifically have a relationship with him, but you do start to see the same people at auditions and stuff, and you kind of start to form relationships with some of those people, and then some of them book the project over you. So, is it hard to, be happy for them? Yeah, I'm happy for them because he seems like a good dude, too, and just always good vibes when he's in the room. But yeah, I think it's just, there's a lot of friendly competition because you see all these same people and we all are the same type and then same type of look and age range. I was going to say, it's funny when you showed them to me on Instagram, oh yeah, I see him all the time, and you just all look the same. Yeah, we're all, so we're all going in for the same project. So of course you're going to build friendships with them. I think the old me would be too competitive, and I'm like, screw them, and cross off their name on the sign-in sheet and make them late. You wouldn't do that. No, but... I used to just want to win, and then you realize, even if you did great, you're not going to always get them. Right. So that happened. But I also read into the State Farm guy. They recast it because, the original, that big Jake from State Farm, and, well, she's hideous. She sounds hideous. When the wife is on the phone, who are you talking to, blah, blah, blah. That guy in the commercial was a real employee for State Farm. Oh, really? They cast him from, seeking employees from all over. That's interesting. Yes. So he got it. Obviously a huge campaign and a huge face for the brand. But I guess there was some backlash because of, well, she sounds hideous. I guess the PC police kind of did not like that vibe or that choice of words. There was some backlash, for a lack of better words, from the transgender community. Gotcha. So they were like, we need to rebrand this. So they ended up casting an actor. And then the more I read into it, you see on Reddit and certain threads that people, and on YouTube, I guess all of these State Farm commercials are getting a whole bunch of dislikes because they want the original Jake from State Farm. So it wasn't really the employee's fault. He just kind of, because of the backlash, that was a result that he just kind of lost that job then. Yeah. It wasn't really anything he did. No, it was just terrible luck. Man, that's a bummer. Could you imagine? No. I don't, and maybe he would be getting paid significant. If he was getting paid like the actors do for a spot like that, he would be getting a ton of money. I'm sure he does. It's probably SAG scale and all that. But then to just be released from it, and then you see this actor from LA come in who does not work for State Farm. Right. He doesn't do anything with insurance. He's an actor and a model, and right. That would be a bummer. Yeah. So that happened, but. Considering that there's so much backlash against that person and just kind of a bad vibe for him now, maybe it was for the better. Who knows? Right. And if I would have worked on that stuff, on those campaigns, I probably wouldn't have been able to do any of the recent TV film stuff that I've done. Right. Who knows? But still would have been cool. I would have taken it. Yeah, you can't pass that up. Recently... I worked on that film in Oregon, Dead in the Water. But you showed me a little teaser. Yes. Internal purposes only. Only we ain't sharing that. But it looks great. And apparently it's going to be on Lifetime again. That happened. They're looking at a January air date. Awesome. Ideally, it could be a little bit later. I'm sure there will be more parties back home for your premiere. I hope so. It's a good one. But I had to work on an ADR session, which is automated dialogue replacement. I've done ADR sessions. I don't remember what it stands for all the time. But basically... You always tell me that I have an ADR session, and I'm just like, okay. Yeah. But basically, we shot all this stuff on location in Oregon, and we were literally by rocky cliffs. And the sound was tough, I guess. So I had to record all of my lines over. Right. Pros and cons of that. Cons are it takes time, and you really like maybe the performance you did the first time, but now you have to go in there and watch yourself perform, and then you try and match your lines. Yeah, I imagine that'd be difficult. Lip sync to it. It's challenging, but there's just a team of also audio folks that are... But I mean difficult for you as an actor.
Yeah, it's different. It's forced, and you're talking to a screen,
not as natural,
with headphones on and trying to make it come to life. But
good challenge for you.
Yeah, but that happened. So, but it's good that they're working on it and they're getting audio like it should be. So it just helps the production value, and it's going to be high quality anyways. So that happened.
Right.
We had a short film that I worked on about a year ago called Paws, which is an exceptional story. I can't say enough about the director.
And the people you worked with just seemed exceptional as well. Like the other actors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it was just led by Andrew Gutierrez, and he is just a down-to-earth, humble, God-fearing, exceptional man. And so he puts those kind of people on his team, and they're also happen to be talented. So we created a sweet story that I'm excited for the world to eventually see. But he submitted it to Sundance and a bunch of other festivals. It got passed up on Sundance, but it is doing well in other.
Yeah, it won a couple of awards.
Yeah.
I don't remember what you said it was.
Yeah, there's a 2 or 3 different festivals that it's done well in, and won the best short prize and all that. But that's a great feel-good story of high quality.
Yeah.
That will be coming out. So that's exciting.
And that's awesome for him.
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment. I did a Burger King commercial audition a couple days ago. Got passed up on that one.
And that was your first time doing a commercial audition via Zoom, right?
Yes, because usually I've done self-tapes remotely for commercials. Like you helped me with the Walmart one, but this one was live.
You said like you had another actor that like called in and you had to like work with them.
It was,
which was strange,
really superficial, and you're really digging deep as an actor because you're just creating. You're trying to make something fake. I was supposed to pretend to have a gun that shot money out of it, and they were supposed to have the same type of thing, but a machine gun that shot money out of it, and then just bringing that energy and whatever.
But I thought it was funny that you told me after the fact that you and the other actor were both told to do something different, and then you switched roles.
Oh yeah.
And you said that you were happy the other person, it was a girl, right?
Yes.
That she went first in the role that one role because you couldn't remember what to do.
Yeah, because
and then she messed it up.
Yep. And I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the commercial casting directors and the session runners, they work so quickly because that's just the nature of advertising for commercials, and they tell you the instructions really quick, and ideally you take it in fast and you're able to take that direction, and then you're able to execute it on the first take, and they're like, hallelujah, send it off.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your time and your expertise. He gave us the instructions, and there was a cue after he read a certain line of dialogue. You were supposed to do something with a gun. It was supposed to get jammed. And we were doing the entire thing, and he gets through all the dialogue, and we realized that she didn't do the cue.
Right.
And so he was kind of annoyed. They always are. And then you start over. So,
but because she messed it up first, then I could remember what to do.
Yes. And I did it perfectly, but I still didn't get the job. So it's okay. And then other than that, I'm just waiting on that Snapchat project to air. Right.
Which you still don't know when, right?
I don't know when, and I don't know if they're going to do anything differently because it's called Everything's Fine. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I don't know. It's out there. It's on IMDb. Okay. It's called Everything's Fine, but there's also now a project that just got released on Netflix called...
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
No, it's out there.
You're going to be X'd from the episode.
I'm already X'd. It's called Sarah Cooper's Everything's Fine. Okay. I think she's a TikTok star. Okay. And she put out this project on Netflix, which has a whole bunch of stars in it. So everything in the media that's coming up as Everything's Fine is not our project.
Gotcha.
Because I used to see it and I'm like, oh, so-and-so's going to be on it. So-and-so's going to be on it.
So is it out there?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
It's on IMDb. You can search it, and you can search the writer and producer, and you can see. Right. You don't see the actors that are attached to it. So I got that much unrevealed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's pretty much it, right?
That's enough for mine. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing a ton of voiceover auditions, but I'm not booking anything.
Yeah.
I just have not figured out that world yet.
Yeah, but you've also talked about that classes would probably benefit you, but
they're just expensive, and
you said that there's not really good options for like adults.
Yeah, it seems like you have to just work one-on-one, and they're so crazy expensive, and I just am still kind of too insecure with my skill. I'm like, am I just going to waste their time with me going on there and doing it? But I'm still busting them out.
I mean, they keep sending them to you.
Yeah, I've had callbacks and I've gone in for producer sessions and stuff for ADR stuff, for dubbing stuff. But this cool character stuff, I just auditioned for Elder Scrolls, which is like a huge video game and a huge following. And
that's the one Colton
knows a ton about that world. Yeah. But I sent it in and I sent Colton recordings and he goes, "Did you send it in?" Basically hinting you should have changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I just was off tone with it, but it's done.
Oh
well. Let's give people a quick Harlow update.
Okay. She's going to be 6 weeks old in a couple days. You said it was on the day she turned 1 month old? Was that the exact day?
For sure.
It was just me and her here, and we were doing some tummy time, and she rolled over from her stomach to her back, and I was like, hold on. I'm like, you're not supposed to do that yet. And I was like, maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe her head's too heavy because she has a big head. And then she probably did it 5 or 6 more times within the past week and a half. She doesn't do it every time, but I was like, I think she's rolling over.
Yeah. And it's
just kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you like put her arms from her side. Sometimes she's not going to she's not putting them forward and then getting up and then rolling, but you put her arms in front of her and she scoots up and then tumbles over slowly.
She just slowly lets her head, the weight of her head take her.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a nice milestone.
That was cool.
Other than that, not much has changed except I've noticed an awful large amount of Target and Gap bags just laying around all the time. Every time I check them out, I'm like, oh, another Gap bag. Oh, here's another Target purchase.
I don't know where they come from.
I have an idea.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's happening. The clothes are cute and you need certain things that are practical for yourself. But you could throw the bags away when you're done.
Oh, so it's just the bags that bother you. I can take care of that.
For the most part, yeah. I'm like, why do you just keep these?
I didn't know it was just the bags laying around.
It's like the equivalent of you just throwing all of your receipts in your purse.
Yeah, well.
I'm like, oh, you don't need them.
I eventually get to them.
Yeah, so I've just noticed that. The last thing I was going to say about Harlow is that a few days ago, she was fussy and I was picking her up and I was doing my usual remedies.
I think I was trying to eat dinner.
Yes. So, you try and rock her this way or you try and hold her this way and you're like, but if you put her vertical, she always stops. So I did that and then I'm like, oh, it ain't working. Try and give her the little pacifier, not working. Yeah. Couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, I don't know. Here, just take her for a second while I can grab my food or whatever. And then she just hushed. And it was the first time where she very evidently wanted her mom.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
I told you, I'm like, she just spends so much time with me because she does.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to work during the day and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I think there's going to be times where when she's older or maybe even now where she might maybe wants her dad.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
She hasn't done that since. She was feeling me that day.
Yeah, I know. It was funny.
I could tell it kind of hurt you a little bit.
No, I didn't. Maybe initially, kind of like, oh man, it was more like I wish I could have soothed her and helped her calm down. But I think it's important that I recognize sometimes your moms are going to be there for their kids and dads are going to be there in certain situations. And this is just one of those times where she felt more comfortable being.
But I think I told you too, I think with me nursing, she just knows my scent. And I think it was getting close to her needing to eat. So she was probably just like, oh yeah, now I'm on mom. She's going to feed me.
That could have been the motivation.
Yeah.
But either way, she was calm. So it was cool.
But yeah, overall, she's doing well. Yeah. Still growing.
Good. And we'll be home next week. So.
Yes, I'm very excited this week.
Oh, I'm sure. I know you are. You get a little peppy.
Last weekend that we'll be here for a while.
Yeah, that's true. But we'll talk more about that coming up. Let's do shout outs. Go ahead. I don't know your shout out.
You kind of already mentioned mine. My shout out is just simply to delivery drivers, UPS, FedEx, USPS.
Let's just give a special shout out to Uncle Matt Kruse then.
Well, I was going to, babe, you're ruining my shout out.
Oh man.
You're just straight up ruining my shout out.
Go for it. I'm done.
But anyway, my shout out was to them because I've been keeping them busy. Not only have I been keeping them busy here, but we've also been sending stuff to my parents' house. So I've been keeping them busy in Iowa.
True.
But I was going to specifically shout out your Uncle Matt because I haven't been keeping him busy, but he always talks to us about how this time of year is crazy for him. And So shout out Uncle Matt Kruse.
Yeah. He's been in the game, the UPS game, for many years. Mm-hmm. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
And great guy, hardworking, especially this time of year. He's also remodeling bathrooms on his taking him years to remodel it to get the job done, but he finally got it done.
Yeah.
Looks good. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Aunt Bobby's happy.
I'm sure.
So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hopefully we get to see them soon.
Mm-hmm. My shout out, I've had this in mind, him in mind for a few weeks. I wanted to eventually mention him, but the timing was funny because we just got their Christmas card and a package from them yesterday.
Yeah.
So my shout out is to Kyle Stevenson. And also I'm glad that we got this letter because Kelsey, his wife, had listed all of his job titles.
Yeah, that was funny.
So this is helpful.
Shout out to Kelsey for writing a great letter.
Yeah,
that actually made us laugh.
Yeah, that was exceptional. Yes, there's a lot of funny parts in it. So Kyle is a lieutenant, a SWAT commander, K9 handler, and firearms instructor for the Marshalltown Police Department, as well as soccer coach, baseball coach, and full-time super dad.
He's just all around superhuman.
Yes, and I think about him often because of our last time we were together this past summer, we golfed, and he was just giving me awesome little pieces of advice as a parent and as a father. And I feel like we have so much in common, even though we didn't know each other growing up, but over the years we just had grown a friendship.
Yeah.
And we don't see each other that often, but when we do get together, it's like we just hit it off well. And I'll do ride-alongs with him, and we'll have an 8-hour shift, and we just don't stop chatting. We just never not have something to talk about.
Right.
And we usually agree on everything when it's politics or religion, and it's kind of like refreshing. We just get stuff off of get off of our chest. And and he's fun to golf with. I mean, he'll birdie a hole in the next like triple bogey and then not be upset. And it's like, I mean,
so you could learn. You could learn from him.
Well, when I'm with him, I was pretty chill. I didn't want to ruin his day, but yeah, he's just a great guy. I think people around the community know enough about him and how much value he brings. And then he's just the kind of guy that we need in law enforcement today.
Yeah.
This could be another 5-hour discussion about that topic alone, but he's kind of just the epitome of what I think is a good leader. He's the kind of guy that I would like to work for. He's the guy that you'd want to be in the trenches with. And then he's raised 2 great, exceptional kids in Faith and Abel so far.
Yeah. They're just an awesome family.
Yeah. So I look forward to catching up with him. They just recently moved, so congratulations on the new house.
Yeah.
They're kicking butt with finances and just life in general. And
Dave Ramsey. I don't know what it's called, but
they read his big book that's really popular.
Yeah.
They followed this
debt free, which is incredible. While going to school full time. Yeah.
There's so much more we could talk about with just how busy they are and how hard they work and still raise it.
Definitely learn something from them.
Yes. So shout out to him. Shout out to his family. Wish them well. Hope we can catch up soon.
Yeah. So many people we need to catch up with.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that'll do it. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you so much for the support and the comments and the likes and the subscribes.
Yep.
We're still trying to reach 1,000, but we're just enjoying this journey in the meantime.
We would appreciate any prayers or good thoughts as we travel home this week. It'll be our first long road trip with Harlow, so just praying everything goes well and we get there safely. Yes, that would be excellent. We look forward to being back in good old God's country in small town Iowa. Showing Harlow what we're all about. Yeah, right. Right, where we are, who we are at our core. Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate it. We will see you on the next one. Also, in case you're wondering, we can see Harlow right now. She's just taking a nap. Well, yes. She's not by herself. We are very responsible. Just putting it out there. Yes. She's in the car. But all right. Thank you very much for being here. We will see you on the next one. Adios.